Getting started using NinjaTrader charting software, tutorial series and quick guides where we cover many aspects of using the NinjaTrader platform and little things that are kind of hard to figure out sometimes. Little quick videos on learning how to use those items. This video is on how to use a market analyzer, adding columns with indicators that you'll then create alerts from. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners, trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted, not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. And we developed these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2-minute. By not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short, because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. We've got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived. You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. This is one of our workspaces for scanners that you don't have to look at during the day while you're using our package. But this is where you load your symbols in. The alerts are set up off of. I'm going to start with we've opened a market analyzer. So if this is brand new to you, you click on New, go down to Market Analyzer, and it'll pop you a new market analyzer up that'll look like this. So I'm going to just get you started real basically here about how you can use this. And then we're going to go into details of duplicating and changing alerts and so forth using our own setup down here that you can learn something from as well, even if you're not one of our clients. First thing I want to do is, this is the default columns that load. I don't care anything about the ask price, the bid price. So I'm going to remove those. I just right clicked on there to bring that up. I'm going to click apply. Now we've got what we have left here. I went right click, columns is what I went to. So I'm going to go back to columns, and I want to add an indicator. Now there's all type things you can add in these columns that you might want to know about, including the bid price and the ask price we just deleted. They have the bid ask spread. They have many other things, current, year, high to date, and so forth. Ratios, daily highs, daily lows, volume, descriptions, dividends. You can load about anything you want to in to the columns to give you the information that you're looking for. Now, those are just readable columns. Now, if you want to, and then you can sort those columns and so forth as well. You can use these for tracking your trades and things of that nature as well. What I'm showing is how to actually use them to create alerts from indicators. The indicators are listed in this column in the eyes. You have to click on indicator and click add. I'm going to add about 3. I'm going to do that about 3 times so I can add different ones. Once you add those indicators, you can do apply, and I'll show you what the columns just did. It just created 3 new columns on 1 minute data. Now what we're going to do is we're going to change those. You go to your list of indicators, and you've got all your different oscillators. You may want ATR, you may want buy and sell pressure, candlestick patterns. We'll just try that one just to see what comes up. This is not something I use at all, but I'm just putting something out here. Morning star, let's go for a hammer, and we're just going to put that in there. Send alerts, show pattern count, or pre-checked on this particular indicator. I don't even know what it is. And I'm going to set this for 5 days. And I'm going to do regular trading hours. Trading hours right here. You get outside of regular trading hours, you get a lot of crazy stuff. So go very bottom of this list. Use equities regular trading hours. Got the break of day checked. On bar close, because you want the bar to be closed. You don't want to be getting a hammer pattern in the middle of a candle that hadn't closed yet. And that looks like a good setting for that. Okay, we got one more part right here. We're going to do the input series. I'm going to set our input. We're going to leave it on minutes and put it on 30-minute candles. And we're going to apply. And then I'm going to work on another one. You can see we just changed that. And then we're going to go, let's do like an SMA. We'll do a 20 period. We'll do a 5-minute chart. We'll go to 3 days of data. Again, regular trading hours at the very bottom. I did that wrong. One more down. On bar close. Going to apply. Now we have our SMA 20 on a 5-minute chart showing in our heading, and we're going to add one more. If I see something that looks you could do a MACD. This is pretty popular. MACD, stay with the standard settings. We'll put that on a 10-minute chart. Go with 3 days of data, just like we've been doing, and we'll do our regular trading hours again. Apply that. Now we've got all these columns created. I'm going to widen this out a little bit so you can see everything that's going on. And you can adjust the sizes here. These are really hard to use on these size adjustments. It's kind of crazy the way it does. It doesn't. I'm not real crazy about that, the way that works, but you have to really work with that. So we got a candlestick pattern looking for a hammer on a 30-minute time frame. We've got the MACD on a 10-minute, and this data here. Now you could right click down here and rename this and call it whatever you like. I clicked the wrong place for the rename though. You leave that like it is. Right click in the chart and go to rename. Got ahead of myself. Right click on the tab, rename the tab. I was right the first time. X, Y, Z, SMA, MACD, or whatever you want to call it. You just give it a name and apply it, and that'll help you know which tabs you are, because you may create several tabs that do different tasks for you. Now I'm going to show you how to build a real basic alert. Once you get this created, you can put symbols in here. I'm not going to put very many. I'll just load the Dow 30 real quick. That's a real short list, and I'm just running in today data, so I'm going to have to connect to something else real quick. on my connection over here. Let me double check that. I think I'm connected to the end today. I am, so I'm going to connect to my live account. So you can't calculate 10 minute, 5 minute, 30 minute on a end of day type account connection. So you got to have a live data account to use intraday. You can use this on a free end of day and run stuff off the dailies. So now we've got this coming in and it's looking for this pattern. I don't think it's going to find this hammer pattern on here. We'll do a bigger list in a moment to see what it can find. Here's all your values of your 20 SMA, and here's your MACD values. MACD, I'm going to have to go back and show you one item on that. You'd want multiple columns to create alerts by. So I'm going back in the columns. I'm going to go back to MACD. It's something I don't use often. I forgot it's got all these different settings. You got your average and your difference, and your lines. If you're trying to do a MACD crossover, you'll want to choose one of those as your columns. And then you'd want to add it again. So we're going to do another indicator add here. I'm going to take this and move it up one level so I get it back up close to my MACD. I'm going to add MACD again and add the other number. This time we're going to add the difference. And we got to make sure we got them both on a 10 minute. So we got to set this to 10. Same process we went through a minute ago. So we got them on the matched up. We want everything matched up. You can switch back and forth over here and see, compare what I had. So I'm on a 10 minute on what we already had. We're going to go down and make sure we got this one on a 10 minute. We've already changed it to 10. Our number of days was 3 in regular trading hours. So we're going to do the exact same feature here. And you can do that comparing back and forth on all these lines and inputs to make sure you got them all matched up when you're doing something like that. So we hit apply. It should change that to a 10 minute. Maybe I didn't get the 10 part put in. I did. So now they're both on 10-minute data. So to create alerts, you right click, go to alerts. Once you get in here, you got an alert comes in defaulted, it's checked. You want to rearm that on bar close. And then you got to add conditions. I'm going to widen this out where you can see real good. All the conditions, if you don't have a column for it, you can't create a condition with it. So our columns consist of the instrument, the last price, and the 4 indicators we put in. So we can come in here, add a condition, the last price, I'm clicking here, cross above the SMA 20. That's now an alert set for that. And then you can go down to the bottom area and create an action. Add your action, a simple alert. You can say okay, that would appear in your alert log that you see up above where we're working here, and you can set priorities on these. Then you can sort your priorities up in your alert log when you're trying to find these different items that you're creating these alerts for. I always use @name right in this area. This is where you can change those priorities. You got 3 different ones to choose from. @name is going to put the name we give this alert in your trigger. I like to add a couple more items to that. If you don't, you won't know what your alert's triggered on. Alert, instrument. That's the name, the symbol. I'm going to highlight this and Control X, take it out and put it back on this side. I like my symbol first, then my alert, and then you need to come back and click on @price and @time. Then you will know the instrument that you had the alert on, the symbol, the name of your alert, the price that it crossed over at. It may not be the exact price of the SMA, but it's the exact price of the symbol, let's say the SMA was 20 bucks and it came across it very fast, and by the time it sent the alert out seconds later it was at $20.04. That's what the price would show, and then at the time will be the exact time that it came out as well. So now you've created your alert, and we're going to call this crossing up SMA 20, and you might want to put the 5-minute part first or at the end. And we can click apply, and now that's been created. One other thing you can do down here in your actions is you can share a message. Now, screenshots is not a good idea to do because it's not going to give you that screenshot. It may give you another tab that you have previously selected. You can do a screenshot, but if you're not on the chart when it sends the alert out, it's going to send the alert of whatever chart you happen to be looking at. So that's kind of misleading there. You're not going to get that screenshot. So don't use that, but you can go to a share service and you can set up share services. We're covering that in another video. You can share it to Twitter, stock tweets. You can share it through email and send the email to yourself. And this that comes out at the message. Well, the message, I'm going to cancel this. The message was this item right here. All that information is what will come through in your message. If you do an email, you actually have another chance to put in a subject matter. So we've got us an alert created there. We've clicked apply already, so that becomes a live alert. It's only good works during the daytime, live, intraday, real-time market data. We're going to go back and do one more real quick. You can say add an alert, rename it, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time renaming and going through those other steps, but you could take your MACD, cross above the other part of your MACD, and that becomes your condition. It tells you, should have labeled this so you know what it was. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you make a label and create an alert and then you change the time frame to 15 minutes, you will have to rebuild your alert, and there's no way to save alerts. I'm going to go ahead and just do a hammer here. Now this looks like that column was all zeros, so this is the one that you would do the hammer pattern equals probably 1 and hit OK and apply. And I'm going to check that because you'd have to set your rearm on bar close, of course. I'm unchecking that, so I've turned it off. That don't mean it can't go back in and be turned on again. These all show 0, so I'm assuming that 0 is false, and when it's true, it's probably 1. It's a true-false statement kind of indicator here, looking for the pattern. If it finds the pattern, it probably puts a 1 in this column. The part about the MACD I failed to do here was in the column when we chose the AVG, you go down here and you label it. Right here you make this say AVG 10 minute and apply. You'll see it change the name of the column there, and then you do the other one where I believe it was the DIFF, so you change that. Data, apply. So now you have these named, and then when you get on your alert back here, you can go back in and edit this. You see how it was gone, but the reason it was gone because we changed the name. Now we can say the AVG crossing above the diff, and that becomes what you're alerting for. And then you apply, and then your alert's live, you name it, and so forth, like we did before. And be sure you set up all this information as well. So that's the real basics of creating some alerts using indicators. And the last thing you need to see, if you start a new one, you can't bring those alerts in. You can actually take this MACD or this tab right here. You can right click and duplicate the tab. When you duplicate the tab, the alerts come with it. They won't be live. You'll have to go back and recheck them. Now, if you name them, not the alert, but the columns, like I was showing you on the MACD, then it's gonna they're gonna disappear. The settings are. But now we can take this SMA 20. We can go into our column now and edit this to a 15-minute chart. Apply that. Now we can go back to our alert and edit, change it to the 15-minute, hit apply, and we all got to do then is just rename this up here. So we're now on a 15-minute SMA. Alert that, apply, and now you've created one on a 15-minute in a new tab without having to go back and add all the columns. All the other stuff was already there for you, and you can continue to do that many times. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you learned a little bit. Be sure to subscribe to our channel while you're here, and follow us on Twitter, and follow us on StockSwitch, and go over to daytradersetups.com, click on Ninja 8 charting, and you can learn more about our STS pivot system charting package. Thanks for watching.